Hello everyone, it's Deb Floros for Jesse James Beads. I'm working with Rainy Day, the Magical Mystery Bead Box for April 2025. This box is so great. There are so many amazing things. I am enchanted by this drop strand. It's two different styles of teardrop shaped beads. They are very reminiscent of raindrops and so much fun to work with. We're gonna make a fun bracelet using these as our main star of the show. And I'm also going to be using some beads from Monsoon season. This mix is so cool, has so many beautiful things, and there's also some teardrop beads in that mix as well. Now, that Caught in the Rain strand I intended to use, but I didn't end up using any beads from it. Oh, look at these beautiful shades of blue. There are so many fun pieces you can incorporate into this project or any other project. I'm also throwing in some classic cerulean seed beads. These are size 11 and they are also available at jessejamesbeads.com. I'm going to string on trios of teardrops, and that's the way that I like to work with them. And I also like to use seed beads as my continuity throughout a project. So they're going to act as spacers, a little pop of color, and they're going to create a little bit of dimension for this piece. Now, when those teardrops get together, they push each other into a shape. So they kind of go into a little pico-shaped cluster of beads. And so I'm using trios, and I'm taking the smallest ones from that bead mix, the Monsoon season. Then I'm using 2 seed beads in between each trio. And I'm using trios of those AB finish ones as my next 3, and oh my gosh, the shine is amazing. And then these very large puffy teardrops or pear-shaped beads also look very, very cool as a trio. These can be used so many different ways, but I love to use them in trios because they make that really cool and interesting little cluster of beads. So I'm using the small ones from the mix, then 3 of the flat ones, 3 of the large ones, 3 of the flat ones, 3 of the large ones, 3 of the flat ones, and 3 small ones from the mix. And I'm just putting on those seed beads in between. That pop of blue is really beautiful. Just goes along with the theme of this box, which is Rainy Day. So much fun. And those seed beads are so easy to string on. And look at all the shimmer and shine of these beads. They're just absolutely spectacular. This is going to be a piece that you can wear all year round. I have 2 more of those small little teardrops, and I have 2 more of the large ones. So I'm actually going to place those on either end of the bracelet because I'm pretty sure this is a little bit too short for a bracelet for me. So I'm going to go ahead and cut from the package, test out the sizing. Yeah, it's just a little bit too small. So if I add in those extras, then I've got the perfect length bracelet. So I'm just adding a small and a large at the ends and a couple of seed beads at the end. And oh my gosh, look at how fun that piece is. You'll need 2 crimp tubes. I used a size 2 with my 49 strand beading wire, and I'm using a lobster claw. And I'm going to make a seed bead loop at one end. I'm just going to go back through the crimp tube, and there are a total of 7 of those seed beads for that loop. And you'll have to be very careful when you crimp here. So I'm going back down the crimp, and I'm going to get my crimp pliers in, making sure I'm not connecting with any of those seed beads, getting a nice loop there and cutting off my excess wire. Then at the other end, I'm going to create a loop as well, but I'm going to add my lobster claw to it. So I'm using 6 seed beads with 3 my lobster, then 3 more. And I'm just going to go back down through the crimp tube, just like I did with the other end. And I'm going to crimp very carefully to make sure I don't crack any of those seed beads. I love, love, love how that seed bead continuity goes all the way through to the closure of this piece. That pop of color is just really special. Then, very carefully, there I'm crimping. I'm going to do one more thing at the end with the loop. I'm going to add a jump ring. So you could attach directly to the loop of seed beads, but I'm going to add that jump ring so that we make sure that those seed beads are protected. So that will be my attachment. Then we're going to do one more thing because we have one of those AB teardrops left. I've got a ball end head pin. I'm going to put that on and then bend that head pin upwards. Then I'm going to add seed beads. You can add as many as you'd like. And I'm just going to create a little bit of like a zigzag. And then I'm going to do a wire wrap loop up top. Then what I'm going to do is grab a small 4mm jump ring and I'm going to attach it to the end of my bracelet. It's just going to be a little fun dangle. And I love that you can actually make 2 earrings with that if you've got 2 of those teardrops left. I love how this came out. This is an amazing Magical Mystery Bead Box. You can subscribe at jessiejamesbeads.com. Thanks so much for watching.